There's a council tax discount that has reduced thousands of UK households' bills by 100%. Refunds of £15,000 or more have been issued, and it's the most underclaimed council tax discount in the country because of one outdated, off-putting name. It's a discount for households where one adult lives with a long-term condition that affects how their brain works, most commonly dementia, Alzheimer's, severe Parkinson's, or the long-term aftermath of a severe stroke. If that describes anyone in your household or anyone you care for, this video could be worth literally tens of thousands of pounds to you. The reason most people don't claim it is the name. The official legal name of this discount uses a phrase that's harsh, outdated, and frankly insulting in modern terms. So most people who read it in passing, including people who clearly qualify, close the page in distaste and walk away. The discount sits there with their name on it, year after year. Stay with me, because two things decide whether you actually claim this money. The first is the name itself, and why the law is so behind the modern way. We talk about cognitive conditions that it puts thousands of eligible households off entirely. The second is a backdating rule that has produced documented refunds of £15,000, £12,000, even higher. And that backdating can be requested today. Let me explain. The discount is called the severely mentally impaired disregard. I know. It's a horrible term. Even MoneySavingExpert refuses to spell it out in full and just uses the letters SMI. I'm going to do the same from here on because the term is outdated and it puts people off claiming what is genuinely owed to them. A small bit of good news. In Wales, from April 2026, the law has been updated. The discount has been renamed the Significant Cognitive Impairment, or SCI, and the legal definition has been modernized. Some councils in England have quietly started using the same term informally. England is consulting on a change too. For now, the official English legal term is still SMI, but the money behind it is exactly the same. So what does this discount actually do? There are 3 levels, depending on who lives in the household. If the person who has the SMI lives alone, the entire council tax bill is reduced by 100%. To 0. They pay nothing. This is technically called a Class U exemption. If the person with the SMI lives with other adults, but those other adults are also disregarded for council tax purposes, such as full-time students, certain live-in carers, or other people who also qualify as SMI, the bill is reduced by 50%. If the person with the SMI lives with just one other adult who would normally have to pay council tax, the bill is reduced by 25%. The household is treated as though only one adult lives there. So the size of the discount depends on the household, but the smallest version is 25% off. The largest is the entire bill, wiped out. For a Band D property in England, the typical mid-range home, that's somewhere between £500 a year saved at the bottom end and over £2,000 a year saved at the top end. And the discount keeps applying year after year for as long as the person qualifies. Now, who qualifies? To be eligible for this discount, the person with the impairment has to meet 2 conditions. First, they need a medical certificate from a doctor, usually their GP, sometimes a consultant or a specialist. The doctor has to confirm that the person has, in the legal wording, a severe impairment of intelligence and social functioning that appears to be permanent. The medical certificate is free under the NHS. By law, the doctor cannot charge for it. Second, they need to be entitled to a qualifying benefit. The most common one and this is the most powerful link to everything we've covered in this series, is Attendance Allowance, PIP at the daily living rate, DLA at the middle or higher care rate, or universal credit with the limited capability for work element also count. And here's the part that connects directly back to video 3. The person doesn't need to be paid one of those benefits. They just need to be entitled to it. This is the underlying entitlement rule we covered for carer's allowance. The same logic applies here. If someone has ever been told they qualify but can't be paid because of overlapping benefits, that still counts. What conditions can lead to an SMI diagnosis? The legal test is about the impairment itself, not the underlying cause. But the conditions most often associated with a successful SMI certificate include dementia of any kind, Alzheimer's, vascular dementia, Lewy body dementia, Parkinson's disease in its later stages, the long-term aftermath of a severe stroke, multiple sclerosis when it has affected cognition, severe learning difficulties present from childhood, and other neurological or mental health conditions that significantly affect day-to-day functioning. Having one of these conditions doesn't automatically mean someone will be certified. The GP makes the judgment, but if a relative is living with one of these conditions and managing daily life with significant difficulty, the conversation is worth having with their doctor. Now, remember Joyce. She lives alone. She receives attendance allowance. We talked back in video 2 about how her needs could come from a number of things. Perhaps the aftermath of a stroke, perhaps early dementia, perhaps a combination of conditions that have built up over the years. Whatever the underlying cause, the question is whether her GP would certify that she has a severe and permanent impairment of her intelligence and social functioning. If the answer is yes, and for many older people in Joyce's exact situation it is, then Joyce's entire council tax bill goes to zero, 100% off, forever. That alone could be worth between £500 and over £2,000 a year, depending on her council tax band, for as long as she lives there. And now we get to the part that's worth real money. The SMI discount can be backdated. To when exactly? To when the SMI condition first became permanent, which, for someone whose dementia has been progressing for several years, can mean the discount is backdated by several years. MoneySavingExpert has documented case after case of families who applied for this discount, were granted it, and then received a refund check from the council covering years of overpaid council tax. Refunds of £4,000, £7,000, £15,000. One of the largest documented cases was a 98-year-old woman with vascular dementia. Her family applied on her behalf. Not only was her future council tax bill reduced to zero, she received a backdated refund of £15,000. In another documented case, a family applied on behalf of an adult daughter with autism. They received a £7,500 refund. The parents qualified as live-in carers, which gave them additional disregards on top of the daughter's SMI status. Their future bills were cut by 50%. These are not theoretical figures. They are real refunds paid by real councils to real households who almost didn't apply because the name of the discount made them uncomfortable. So if there's anyone in your family, yourself, a parent, a sibling, an adult child who has a long-term cognitive condition and has been paying council tax for years, the backdating alone could be the single most valuable phone call this video prompts you to make. Okay, here is exactly what to do. Step 1. Speak to the person's GP. Ask whether the GP would be willing to sign an SMI certificate. The GP has to make a clinical judgment. They are allowed to say yes, no, or I'd like to refer you to a consultant first. Be patient. If the first GP at the practice is uncertain, you're allowed to ask another GP or request a referral to a specialist. By law, the certificate is free. The doctor cannot charge for it. Step 2. Confirm the person is entitled to a qualifying benefit. The most common one is attendance allowance, and the full walkthrough of how to claim attendance allowance is video 2 on this channel. Step 3. Apply to the local council. Every council has its own SMI application form. You can usually download it from the council's website or call them and ask for a paper copy. The form has two parts, a section the household fills in and a section the doctor signs. Send both back to the council. Step 4, and this matters more than any other step. Explicitly request backdating to when the SMI first became permanent. Some councils only backdate from the date of application unless you ask. Ask. This single sentence is potentially worth thousands of pounds. While you're thinking about council tax, let me briefly run through 3 other discounts you may not know about. Each of these is worth a look on its own. If you live alone, for any reason, not just SMII, you're entitled to the single-person discount, 25% off your council tax bill. Most councils know about this from their data, but not always, particularly if a partner has recently moved into a care home or passed away. If your household has gone from 2 adults to 1, contact the council. It's a single phone call. If you provide 35 hours a week or more of care to someone in your household who receives a qualifying disability benefit, and you're not their partner and not their parent if they're under 18, you're called a carer disregard. That can move the household into discount territory, even when SMI doesn't apply on its own. If your home has been adapted for a disabled person, for example, with an extra bathroom, an extra room used as a wheelchair user's bedroom, or extra space inside the home for wheelchair maneuvering, you can ask for what's called the disabled band reduction. The council reduces your council tax by 1 band. So a Band D home is then charged at Band C rates. This is another genuinely underclaimed discount. If your home has been modified for disability and nobody from the council has assessed it for this, ask. And the one we've covered repeatedly across this series. If you're on pension credit, your council tax bill can be reduced by up to 100% through your local council tax reduction scheme. Each council runs its own version, but pension credit recipients are the priority group everywhere. One quick protection before we close, because where there's money to be reclaimed, there are scammers. You do not need to pay anyone to apply for the SMI discount. The application is to the council directly. The doctor's certificate is free. Citizens Advice and Age UK will help you fill in the form for free if you need help. Some companies advertise online claiming to process your claim for you in exchange for a percentage of the refund, sometimes 30 or 40%. They are doing exactly what you can do yourself for nothing. If you've been approached by one, politely decline. The savings and the refund are yours in full. So, 2 things to do today. First, if you or a parent or a partner or a sibling or an adult child has a long-term cognitive condition that affects daily life, book a conversation with their GP about an SMI certificate. The certificate is free. The application to the council is free. The discount is between 25% and 100% of the bill. The backdating could be worth thousands. Second, send this video to anyone you know who's caring for a parent with dementia, Alzheimer's, severe Parkinson's, or the long-term effects of a stroke. Because the people missing out on this are, almost by definition, families too busy with caring to read pages on a council website with an unsettling title. Today, you could be the one who tells them. Now, there's one more piece of money sitting unclaimed for the same audience. If you're 75 or over and you receive pension credit, your TV license is free. It's worth nearly £170 a year. But the rules are stricter than most people realize. And there's a quiet detail in the policy that catches out couples in particular. Get it wrong, and you can end up paying for a license you didn't actually have to pay for. That's the next video. The free TV license over $75, and the couple's rule that costs people hundreds of pounds. Subscribe so it lands in front of you, because every April these rules change, and the people who stay informed are the ones who don't get left behind. This channel is for general information only. We are not affiliated with the DWPHMRC or any government body, and nothing here is personal financial advice. All figures are current at the time of recording and can change, so always confirm your own situation at gov.uk or with a free advisor such as Citizens Advice or Age UK.